I thought I would introduce you all to my new studio space today. It's not really actually new, it's just been rearranged and redone. So what happened was I went away for a couple of nights to visit some friends interstate, and I came back and my husband had painted the space for me as a surprise. But in the process of doing that, he'd taken everything out and away from the walls and so on, of course, as he had to be able to paint. But seeing everything in a disarranged state made me really reconsider what it was that I wanted to do with this space. And I realized that I could probably have things placed a little bit better to make it more open and more user-friendly. So I'll show you around and I'll show you what I have done differently. So this room is actually a family / living room, and we're lucky enough to have 2 living rooms in our house. So up until previously, I had about a third of this room, really just this corner over here, as my studio space. And my husband suggested that we take out one of the couches that was just sitting over here against the bookshelf, and doing that allowed me to put my big loom, my floor loom, over here. And I was just actually talking to somebody about this the other day. I think it was you, Bianca in Germany. She was asking me about the David loom, and I was saying that my only problem with it really was that I didn't have enough space in front of and behind the loom as well to be able to warp really effectively. I could still do it, but it was difficult. So now I've got the loom kind of standing on its own, and I have space at the back and at the front, and so it's heaps better. I also had, before, this huge window was actually behind me, and so every time I sat at the loom I would be casting a shadow on it. Now we've got the window to the side and I have heaps and heaps of natural light, which is really good. I do need to get some new curtains. I actually took the old curtains down because they've been there for the nearly 13 years that we have lived in this house, and they're really unattractive and old and dirty. So I will get some replacement curtains at some point, but I am kind of enjoying all of the light that's flooding into this space at the moment too. So this big table here, this table has a story as well. This was my husband's family's dining room table when he was younger, and it ended up, I think, in their shearing shed for a while when they got a bigger table, and now it's ended up here. So it's always been my sewing table, which has been really great. But before my husband painted the space, I had it completely cluttered up with stuff. Because this is a walk-through room, it does end up being a bit of a dumping ground for all kinds of things. So I've cleared that off, and I've put my 2 machines, one in front of the other, because I'm not using my machines constantly, the sewing machine and the overlocker, that is. And so it makes more sense to have them lined up, and then I have all this clear space. And I sat down here the other day and I was doing some designing for one of my classes, and I was like, wow, I actually have all of this table space and I can sit here and it's really nice. Usually it's just covered in junk. Let's see how long I can keep it looking this clear, but anyway, here's hoping. So having a look back from here again, I have all of this nice space in the middle so that I can get my chairs out and my stools out, and they're not encroaching upon each other. The rigid heddle loom is sitting at the end there at the moment, and that's really good because I take it in and out of here all the time. If we're watching a family movie together or something like that, then I will take it into another room and weave there. So I need to have that sort of clear access to bring it in and out. So this works really well. The other half of the room is still, should I show you that? There you go, toys, Xbox, etc., kids stuff. And that's okay, I've got this little space here, and I have my warping board over on the wall here as well, so that's easy to access too. Of course, I would love to have my own studio space one day in a room where I could actually close the door, but until now I'm very blessed to have this, and I'm very grateful to have this. So here's some of my yarns. They're mostly my weaving yarns, and then I have a bunch of knitting yarns and other yarns in other drawers and boxes and stashes, and we won't talk anymore about that. Down here I've just got very simply my rigid heddle weaving stuff, like the reeds and the pickup sticks and the shuttles and things like that, just in a bucket for now. I don't really have anywhere else to put them, so that works okay. I can access them easily. And over here, just a little shelf with more yarn and bits and pieces, and my girls' rigid heddle loom on top with one of their little handmade dolls peering out to say hello. Actually, my 10-year-old is working on this at the moment. It's a scarf. It's looking rather nice. While I'm here, I can show you what I'm working on at the moment. This is on the rigid heddle loom, and I'm doing a new pattern for Etsy. It's going to be some hand towels. So this is the second hand towel that I'm working on. I've already done the first one and woven it around the beam, and hopefully I'll have that finished within the next couple of days. And on the floor loom, well, this has been on here for what seems like forever, but I'm actually waiting on some weft yarn to come for that, so that I can, it's a series of towels. I want to get that finished, and then straight after that's finished, then I can launch a bit more into the floor loom series that I'm doing for my online weaving school. Then of course I have a shelf up here. It's got my inkle loom and bits and pieces of embroidery and knitting and stuff like that every fibre artist needs. So there you have it. That's my studio space at the moment. It's nothing really fancy, but as I said, I'm grateful to have this space, and also a lot of people have asked me over the years what my studio space looks like, so now you finally know. And I wanted to show you as well that you can have, you can fit a fair bit into a very small space. So until next time, happy weaving.